Family is where we seek comfort, but it's also where the deepest scars can form. For those who've lived through decades, we know family isn't just love, it's unspoken expectations. It's buried secrets and sometimes wounds that never fully heal. This is Lisa's story. A woman estranged from her sister Sarah for over 20 years, pulled into a vortex of accusations over a stolen baby name, revealing a shared trauma neither recognized. Lisa's journey is a testament to resilience, a path of uncovering truth, setting boundaries, and redefining family when trust shatters. It's for anyone who's wrestled with betrayal from those closest, fought for what's right, or wondered if healing is possible after profound pain.
From childhood, Lisa and Sarah were locked in a silent rivalry. Sarah mimicked everything. Lisa did her classes, clothes, even her handwriting, down to the curve of her letters. It wasn't admiration, but a subtle contest to outshine her sister. If Lisa earned a better grade, Sarah would rip up her homework, then run crying to their parents, claiming Lisa destroyed hers. Their parents rarely questioned, leaving Lisa to swallow her frustration. The breaking point came in high school when Sarah seduced Lisa's first boyfriend, not out of affection but to prove she could take what Lisa valued. Sarah had once called him not her type, yet her calculated cruelty severed Lisa's trust. That betrayal wasn't just teenage heartbreak, it was a scar that shaped how Lisa saw her sister, her family, and herself. For those carrying childhood wounds, we know how they linger, quietly molding how we love and hurt. After high school, Lisa and Sarah cut ties. The pain was too raw, the trust too broken. They skipped each other's weddings, sent no calls or cards. Lisa built a new life with her husband, focusing on her career, believing she'd left the past behind. Sarah lived her own life, their paths never crossing. Lisa thought she'd healed. That distance had erased the hurt. But for those who've walked away from family, we know the past doesn't let go as Elliot lurks, waiting to resurface when we least expect it. Lisa didn't yet realize Sarah's shadow still loomed, ready to drag her back into old wounds. When Lisa got pregnant, she shared the news online, her heart full of joy. 8 weeks later, Sarah, silent for a decade, posted her own pregnancy announcement. Lisa wasn't sure if it was real. They had no contact to verify. She focused on her journey, giving birth to her son, named Xander, to honor someone dear. But 3 days later, Sarah called, not with warmth, but with rage. She screamed, accusing Lisa of stealing the name Xander, claiming she'd cherished it since childhood. It was a lie. Lisa knew Sarah had always loved the name Kai, a name Lisa herself once liked but set aside. For 40 minutes? Sarah raged, calling Lisa a thief, a pathetic copycat, and accusing her of plotting to ruin her life. 10 years of silence. Yet Sarah believed Lisa orchestrated this to wound her. Lisa sought support from their mother, who refused to take sides, fueling Sarah's fury. Soon, Sarah posted a scathing Facebook rant about women who steal baby names, tagging family members and painting Lisa as the villain. For those who've faced baseless family accusations, you know the sting: being blamed for something you didn't do, with no way to defend yourself without escalating the pain. Sarah's attacks didn't stop. Hundreds of texts flooded Lisa's phone from midnight to dawn, calling her diseased, evil, broken. Sarah vowed to reclaim what was hers. After 20 calls in 2 days, Lisa began recording on her husband's phone. One night, at 3 a.m., a call from a blocked number came. Sarah's voice cold and flat. "If I can't name my baby Xander, maybe I shouldn't have a baby at all," she said. "The stress you caused might make me lose it. Or maybe I'll help it along." For 7 minutes, she detailed how she'd end her pregnancy, blaming Lisa for driving her to it. Lisa hung up, shaking, and woke her husband. They knew they had to act. For those who've seen family anger turn dangerous, you know the fear it forces action, even when every step aches. The next day, Lisa called Sarah back, feigning surrender. "You can have the name Xander," she said. "A baby's life matters more than a name," Sarah shouted in triumph, declaring Lisa had learned her place. Lisa stayed silent, documenting everything. Over the next weeks, Sarah grew bolder, bragging online that Lisa admitted to stealing posting ultrasound photos labeled baby Xander in cursive, tagging Lisa repeatedly. Lisa ignored it, waiting for the moment she knew would come. Sometimes, protecting others means swallowing your pride, even when you're right. And Lisa was prepared to play the long game to ensure Sarah's child was safe. That moment arrived when Lisa's mother called from the hospital, frantic. Sarah had given birth, But social workers and security arrived with Lisa's recording. Sarah's face went pale as she clutched her baby, then grabbed an IV pole, swinging wildly, screaming that Lisa forced her to threaten her pregnancy. Nurses separated the child as Sarah collapsed from blood loss. Against her husband's advice, Lisa went to the hospital. In the psychiatric wing, Sarah had barricaded herself behind an overturned bed, rocking her baby, muttering, "She made me say those things. She knows what she did." Then she screamed about Florida and October 15th, the day Lisa announced her pregnancy. Their mother showed a photo Lisa, pregnant, at Sarah's door on October 15th, gloating. Lisa had no memory of it. For those who've faced family stories that don't align, you know the unease when truth feels more unsettling than lies. The evidence mounted, each piece more disturbing. Doorbell footage from October 15th was deleted, but only for that day, using Lisa's login. Texts from her phone to Sarah, messages like "thinking of you" appeared, but she didn't recall sending them. Sarah's neighbor claimed Lisa vigilant, visibly upset. GPS records showed trips to Sarah's town, hours-long visits Lisa couldn't remember. A pregnancy journal, in Lisa's handwriting but frantic, detailed attempts to reconcile with Sarah. Receipts, daycare records, unsent emails all pointed to actions Lisa had no memory of. Sarah's friend shared texts from Lisa apologizing for visits she didn't recall. For those who've found gaps in their lives tied to buried pain, you know the fear of realizing you've lost time to trauma? The truth emerged. October 15th was a trigger. It was the day their father died 30 years ago, the day Sarah miscarried 5 years ago, and the day Lisa miscarried 3 years ago. Both had named their lost babies Alexander, their father's name, in an unconscious bid for his approval. He'd always said, "If I had a son, I'd name him Alexander," calling them his failed attempts. Security footage showed both sisters acting out trauma. Lisa, circling Sarah's block, sobbing. Sarah standing outside Lisa's apartment, staring. Their journals revealed mirrored dissociation, with texts sent in their sleep, imagined conversations. For those who've realized their pain drives them to hurt others unknowingly. You know the weight of uncovering a shared wound. Court-ordered therapy followed, with both sisters losing temporary custody of their sons. In group sessions, they sat silently at first, two broken women bound by shared pain. A fellow survivor warned, "My sister died trying to win our father's love. Don't let it go that far." Slowly, truths surfaced. Lisa confessed to naming 3 miscarried babies Alexander, chasing her father's approval. Sarah admitted to 4 losses, each named the same. They weren't competing, they were trapped in the same grief cycle, reliving their father's rejection. Their father's journal, found later, showed he didn't care about the name. Alexander Eat was his father's, a man he despised. Their pain was a projection, not his truth. For those who've seen their pain mirrored in another's, you know healing begins with shared vulnerability. Lisa and Sarah changed their sons' names to one's meaning peace, breaking free from their father's shadow. They began meeting monthly at a diner, sitting back-to-back in adjacent booths, their sons in high chairs. They didn't speak, but heard each other's lives, ordering food, soothing babies. A waitress asked if they knew each other. Sarah said, "We used to." They weren't sisters again, but survivors of the same war, learning to coexist without passing pain to their sons. For those who've redefined family, you know it's not always love. Sometimes, it's just choosing to stop fighting. Through ongoing therapy, they regained partial custody, committed to breaking the trauma cycle. Their sons played together, unaware of the storm behind them. Lisa and Sarah remained cautious, scarred, but no longer enemies. They were building something new, not a sisterhood, but a fragile peace. For those over 40, we know healing is a marathon, not a sprint. Small steps toward a life where pain doesn't define you. Lisa's journey shows that family can shatter us, but it can also teach us to rebuild. From a broken sisterhood to a painful reckoning with trauma, she and Sarah were caught in a loop they didn't understand. Driven by a father's unattainable approval, the name Xander wasn't just a nom, it was a symbol of their shared grief, played out in dissociation and pain. Yet through truth, therapy, and courage, they stopped the war, choosing peace for their sons. For those carrying family wounds, you know the weight of unspoken pain. Lisa's story reminds us that healing comes from facing those wounds, not burying them, and that we can choose our true family, those who help us grow, not hold us back. If this story resonates, pause and reflect. Have you carried family wounds that shaped your choices without you knowing? Perhaps it's a rift, a name, or a date with more power than you realized. Consider small steps. Talk to a therapist, explore family patterns, or document behaviors you can't explain. You're not alone. Lisa's journey is a beacon, reminding us we're not defined by our past, but by the peace we build. One night, reviewing Sarah's journal, Lisa recalled the chilling line, "If I can't name my baby Xander, maybe I shouldn't have a baby at all." But she proved truth outweighs any lie. She and Sarah stood firm, not as victims, but as survivors, stronger than ever.